Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Wednesday! Happy Wednesday! It's hump day! I'm gonna have to do that again because one of my viewers likes that. I know, it's baby sibling, but she, for some reason, loves when I do that. But, oh, I have a few things today. It's Self-Care Wednesday. Self-Care Wednesday. It should be a fun one. So I have the Self-Care deck and I have the Mindful Messages deck. I actually think these will be good because, kind of help us get rolling and get pushing into Self-Care Wednesday, right? And some words of wisdom from the Mindful Messages deck. Those never hurt either, right? Good morning, older sibling. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Or joining me. Let's see. I know there's like cards that want to come out, but they're not coming out. There's one. So, just bear with me while I pull some self-care cards. These are just really good ideas. Self-care rituals. Some of them, this came in my goddess box. So it's going to feel like it might pertain to just women, but this is for anybody across the board. Truly anybody across the board. These are great ideas, great helpful hints and tips, and don't be shy about trying them. Self-care is such an amazing way to take care of ourselves, and it's really kind of a good way to kind of come back to center and come back to self. And, reboot and rebalance and all that good stuff. So we've got quite a few here. Let's see. Let's shuffle these too. I guess that wants to be the first one to come out. So, connect with your ancestors. Alright, I know some people are going to say, well, that sounds goofy. No, it's not. Connect with your ancestors. Connect with your past. Are there things that you want to change about the past that maybe your ancestors did things you didn't like? So, be better. Or maybe there's things that they did that you love and you're trying hard to emulate that. So, try harder. But connect with your ancestors. I actually enjoy doing this. Kind of just go deep, right? I mean, look, they have the family tree in there. In fact, I remember at one point I had connected with an ancestor, and I was really, really curious about my father's side of the family, and we didn't really know them. And then baby sibling took a DNA test, which one of those, it's weird because I took mine before her, but nobody seemed to find me, but somebody found her, and then they introduced us to this entire side of our family, which was just amazing. It was my father's side of the family that I had not known growing up, and it was amazing. It's still amazing. It's so much fun. I mean, I would love to meet these people in person. A couple of them live in San Diego. I got to meet one when she flew out from, I think, Illinois, because her son doesn't live far from her son and his family don't live far from my dad. But, it was fun. It was fun meeting different family. In fact, the interesting thing is, I believe, I'm trying to remember, maybe not. I don't remember, but I know that one of the cousins that my dad has met he's named after their father/grandfather. So, self-care. Okay. This is not for the family audience, I guess. Sex. I'm sorry. I don't mean to giggle. I'm sorry. God, I'm such a child. I swear. Take what you will from this card. Okay. But you know what? You can even reconnect with yourself this way. All right. I think the reason I'm giggling is because I've never seen this card before. I had no idea it existed inside of this deck. So, it is a form of self-care. It is a form of self-care. But also, I think, let's go in this direction, okay? Because there's a lot of single people out there that are going to be going, excuse me, how do I do that? I have nobody. You can do it. Trust me. TMI, I know. But it's a good way to it's actually a good way to reconnect with yourself, to kind of know and learn about yourself. A lot of people will giggle at that, like I did, scoff at that, all kinds of things. But you know what? It is really a form of self-care. Try to be serious. It really is a form of self-care. Now, that doesn't mean go out there and hoe yourself. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. It's about learning your pleasure zones. It's about learning, again, it's about learning about you. And if you are single, you can take care of it yourself. Okay? It's the truth. There's really nothing to be ashamed of about it. And I think that's another thing about it is, there's certain things that happen to people in life that just kind of stigmatize sex in a way. And that includes me. And I've learned a lot about myself over the last several years. And, this part of my life I'm not that comfortable sharing about because, there's some things that just need to be kept personal. But in order for me to help people understand and to kind of overcome their own trauma in the sense that I have, I am single. You can go with that in the direction you want to go with, but I have learned a lot about myself, and I have learned how to retrain my brain to not be so afraid of acts of intimacy. Now, I haven't had any of those with anybody else, but in, being a little more TMI, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if this is making anyone uncomfortable. But as you can see, this is not my comfort zone. But I feel like I could really I really need to channel Dr. Ruth right now. For all of you who remember her. I was a kid when she was famous, but still. Dr. Ruth Weftheimer. But no, seriously. When you go through certain traumas, there's certain things that just feel so stigmatized. So, they're hard to wrap your brain around. You get lost in certain things, and or you try to lose yourself in them because you're not comfortable. And relearning about yourself in a very intimate way is actually a good way to overcome a lot of those obstacles. So I am sorry if that made people uncomfortable, but you know what? In a way, I'm glad this came up. Because, acts of intimacy are so personal and so, they can be very personal, very private, very, I don't know. I'm tripping over my words because I honestly don't know what to say about this, you guys. So good morning, Deborah. And as you can see, that kind of threw me out of my comfort zone as well. But just try to destigmatize it if it is something that is not, worthwhile to you. If it is something that hurts you or scares you or makes you afraid. Good morning, baby sibling. Just, try to destigmatize that in your mind. So again, like I said, that self-care card kind of threw me out of my comfort zone. I am sorry if I did not express it the way I wanted to. I ended up sharing a little bit more than I wanted to regarding that. But again, I think there's a part of us that, there's a reason things come up. And there's a reason that card came up. And it could be that eventually, even for myself, somebody else might be watching this and they might have asked, how do I overcome this? How do I step over this obstacle and, make it okay in my own mind? And that's it. You have to find a way to destigmatize it within yourself and to overcome your own obstacles of how you feel about certain acts of intimacy and whatnot. So, and like I said, you know what, guys? This is across the board. Okay? This is for anybody, whether you have a partner or you don't have a partner. There are ways. Okay? That's where I keep stepping out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to leave it there. That's all I have to say about that. Make a meal. Good. Make a meal because you'll be hungry after. I'm a comedian today, apparently. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm such a child sometimes. Let me gather myself here. before I get into the straight giggles. But and look, there's an avocado. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, my brain. um you know, I don't have a problem talking about this kind of stuff with my friends and family. Or not my family, but my sisters. But clearly, it's not my strong suit when I'm talking to the world. So anyways, okay, let me gather myself again. Make a meal, all right? Make a meal. Don't just go out and have someone prepare it for you, okay? There is therapy in making your own meal, or even baking. Even baking. You know, there was last weekend, I was just, or not this last weekend, but the weekend before, Christmas weekend, I was just kind of beside myself. I wasn't really into the holidays. But I thought, you know what? I am dying to make some peppermint bark fudge. Okay, it didn't require a lot of work. It was like probably the simplest thing I've ever made, you know, in my life. I mean, literally in my life. But it was very therapeutic. It was, you know, because you're responsible for what's cooking on the stove. And it kind of gets you out of your own mind because, you know, all you want is for it to turn out perfectly. But I wasn't going for perfection. What I was going for was just, I decided I don't care what it looks like. I mean, you know, always want it to be nice, right? But sometimes I am such a perfectionist when it comes to certain things that when it doesn't turn out the way I want it to, I'm ready to trash the whole thing. I mean, there were some cookies I made last year for older siblings, some chocolate dipped cinnamon cookies, and she loved them. But I was so disappointed in the way they turned out, I was ready to chuck them all. And she's like, no, I will eat them. It's like, okay. But so now when I bake, I try to go, or even make anything, I try to go into it from a place of love, not a place of control or perfection. So, you know, when you make your meal, just throw all your love into it. Throw all your good vibes into it. You know, if you were angelically spiritually minded, you can ask Archangel Raphael to bless whatever it is you're making. Bless the ingredients. You know, even if you're baking, even if you're making a drink, okay, spirits. But be careful with that. Don't drink and drive. That's my PSA. But yeah, you can ask him to bless the food or bless what it is that you're baking, and that the person that receives it on the other end will receive that blessing. So, you know, there's a lot of good things that can be done. Clear your energy field. I'm having trouble with the word clear and clean this week. Oh my God, seriously. Clear your energy field. Go sit in grass if it's not wet. Go outside, soak in some sun. Take a hot bath. Sit in your shower underneath the shower head. What this means is, you know, especially after the holidays, there's all this energy you've picked up. There's all this muck and this ick and this bleh, just stuff, right? Clear it out. It's time to get rid of all that negative stuff. It's time to, you know, if you have a singing bowl, the singing bowls work. If you do not have a singing bowls are, I have one right next to me. How about that? Right underneath my crayons. That's right, I color. So this is a singing bowl. I have two of them actually. This is my second one I own. But this, yeah, because that's kind of loud in the mic, is a singing bowl. And then you just kind of go around it. If you have one of these can really help clear your energy field. If you do not have one of these, they're on YouTube. Look up binaural beats, BINAURAL, beats, as in beats. And just search for, good morning, Lucy. Search for singing bowls or stuff like that, and that can actually help clear your energy field. I am so sorry. I have my heater on in the room, so my nose is just running now. And, burning bowl ritual. I know, everything seems to be tying together here, okay? Deborah says I'm funny. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to have a total giggle fest there. But burning bowl rituals. I have talked about this before during Self-Care Wednesdays. If there's something you want to let go, something that's just, you know, does not want to be in your whatever anymore, you can write it down and burn it. If you're not comfortable with burning things, then you can actually fill a bowl of water and actually put the paper in there and fill the bowl with water, and then just kind of let it dissipate. Well, you know, break up, do all that stuff that paper does in water. and then dispose of it. A lot of people actually dispose of it in their gardens. You know, they'll dig a hole and plant it there. What would be really interesting is if you get the paper that has seeds in it and then do that and then wet it and then put it in the ground, see what grows. But the burning bowl rituals, if you're going to do this, please be safe. Okay, I live in California. Fires are not our friends. All right. I actually feel really bad for Colorado right now because they were having super wildfires. We seem to get off a little scot-free this fall and winter. So, I mean, not totally free from fires, but it's been a doozy the last couple of years. So, you know, these are rituals that you can do to just kind of pull yourself away, you know, to push away whatever it is you don't want to deal with anymore. And when I say push away, I don't mean repress and push down. I mean just get rid of it. So, but again, please be safe. Use a fire-safe bowl. All right. Or, you know, again, if you're not comfortable with it, you can also just rip it up, throw it in the trash, and be done with it. Seriously. I mean, the ritual is about you having a visual to let things go. If you want to stand over your trash can and rip a piece of paper up that has all your whatever it is that you're trying to release on it and throw it in the trash and say good riddance, that's up to you. Whatever it is that helps you keep your focus and let you know that you are literally cutting the cord to something, then do it. All right. So we're on Self-Care Wednesday. I'm assuming baby sibling is on, so that means it is hump day. Hump day, hump day, hump day. I would have been fitting earlier with that one card. I'm sorry. I'm going to hear it from older sibling later. Like, really? So I actually got this from a group I follow called Moon Omens. And I paraphrased it just a little, but it was yesterday's card. Okay, and it says, the past, the hurts, the regrets are finished. The guilt, the condemnable, the shame are finished. This is a new year. Let things that have held you back go. Allow yourself to step into new levels of victory, into new levels of favor. Okay, so again, from Moon Omens, and again, I paraphrase this a little bit so that it's kind of talking to everybody. The past, the hurts, the regrets are finished. The guilt, the condemnation, the shame are finished. This is a new year. Let things that have held you back go. Allow yourself to step into new levels of victory, into new levels of favor. Oh, baby sibling wants to know what the other card was that I keep giggling at. There you go. That's the card. So anyways, I'll send you a picture of it later. It wasn't so much the card that we were going over as much as the comfort zone I had to step out of to talk about it. And this actually might be good for me because, you know, it's not something that we should be ashamed of. Okay, I know I'm going backwards a little bit to the self-care card on sex. It's not something we should be ashamed of. But as you can see, you know, there are things we go through in life, and so we kind of, I don't know, we kind of repress it, we hold it back, we do all these things, and it becomes kind of a stigmatized thing for some people, and that's kind of what I was going with. But also, you know, when people are single, well, I can't. It's like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. There I go again. I'm so sorry. There I go again. Okay, let's bring back mature, shall we? Anyways, so that was the card, and me stepping out of my comfort zone with that card. But no, seriously, just I think that's the gist of it. It's not something we should be ashamed of. It should not be something we're ashamed of talking about. You know, I mean, I could talk to my sisters all day long about this stuff, but talking to the world about it feels a little out of my comfort zone for me. But it, baby sibling, that's your fault. I blame you for that one. So, you know, you and your curiosity. So anyways, yeah, I honestly, coming back to mature me and not giggly me, yes, it is a very intimate act, and yes, it can be a very intimate act with a party of one. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you struggle with things like this, then, you know, read up on how to not struggle with it anymore. You know, try to find your comfort zone within yourself. A lot of times when you're able to find the comfort zone within yourself, you're going to be able to find the comfort zone with other people or partners that you may have down the road, you know, or a partner that you may meet and have down the road. But I think it kind of, yeah, she's all, I'm a Gemini. We have a curious nature. I'm a Capricorn. So do we. So this is why her and I get along. But no, but seriously, I know I'm struggling through this, and I think the reason I'm struggling through this is because I'm also kind of learning a little bit about it myself as I talk with you, because there's a lot of times where I think there's things you just, you know, people will say, well, those aren't things that you talk about outside in the world. Well, they happen outside in the world, okay? Maybe not outdoor. Well, I don't know. Who knows? Some people are so risque. Anything's possible. But just going back on the level, there should be nothing shameful about it. And I think we put too much shame on the idea of sex or intimacy or whatever adjective you want to, or verb or whatever. I don't know. Just, my brain is, I'm giggling on the inside. But I think what it's trying to say is just don't shame yourself anymore. Don't be ashamed of your body. Your body is your body, and it's, you know, yeah. And you know what? Okay, so Deborah put it perfectly. Isn't it interesting how we can talk about some things comfortably with close friends, but not just openly with the world? I agree, and this is why I'm actually glad. I'm mortified that this card came up, because I have to talk about it on the perspective. I'm also glad my father is not watching today, but but anyways, she's right. It should, I mean, we all know that there's a time and a place for every kind of topic. I mean, this isn't something that you would just be yammering about in the middle of a fine dining restaurant, okay? I mean, unless you're quiet about it and you're just with, you know, your pals, right? But when we talk about being comfortable, I think this is why a lot of people don't find their comfort zones, because they're afraid to talk about it with other people, because it does turn into a giggle fest, because it does turn into something that somebody else might not be comfortable with. For instance, older sibling and sissy. I mean, older sibling, I was just, you know, this was years ago, and I was talking to her, and I was just like, you know, I kind of miss it, but I'm not that kind of person that just goes out there. And so, you know, her and I started discussing it. But on the other side of the room, Sissy's sitting there giggling her head off. Oh gosh, I have a hair hanging out. Sorry guys. I know it's a little distracting to me. But Sissy's sitting there giggling her head off. Like, I can't believe you're saying these things. And I don't think it would have been a topic of conversation we would have had outside of the house. But I think what it's trying to say is that, you know, have that talk with yourself. Okay, have the talk with yourself. And I don't mean the talk your parents give you. I mean the one about, you know, how do you feel about it? What is your view on it? Is it something you're comfortable talking about or even thinking about when you're by yourself or with, you know, somebody that you may be intimate with? I think that's the point. You know, we stigmatize our bodies, and we shouldn't stigmatize our bodies. Our bodies are beautiful things, capable of wonderful, wonderful things. And when we allow ourselves to bloom, when we allow our mind to bloom, it can be a fantastic experience. Seriously. You know? So she says, I wonder why we, meaning Americans, have such a hard time talking about sex. I don't think Europeans do. I don't know a lot of Europeans. I know some people who wouldn't. But I also know other people who don't care. They're just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I mean, come on. Seriously, they have nudist beaches in Europe, and it's not a big deal. Here, they're called nudist beaches. Over there, it's just like, hey, let's go to the beach. Okay? And it's because I can say a lot of things on why it is because, but I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to. But I will say this. And I think I've come full circle on this subject in this perspective, because I think I'm finally understanding why this card came up. We need to stop stigmatizing our bodies. One of the reasons why we body shame ourselves is because we don't feel comfortable in our bodies, because we're meant to think, oh, you have to cover up, you have to do this, you have to do that. I know somebody who, and it might be controversial, so I'm not going to say who, but I know somebody who, one of the best beaches they went to on a vacation just happened to have naked people on it. And they had their kids. And they didn't care. They're like, who cares? It's bodies. It's bodies. We stigmatize it in our minds. Yeah, okay, older sibling. I'm not going to say that one out loud. If you want to know what I'm saying, you're going to have to come to Facebook and read the comments. But yeah, Sissy just... we were talking about a very specific word, and she just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about that. But anyways, you know what? It's kind of interesting because I was just reading over what I wrote for today's self-care Wednesday, and this really went sideways. This did not go in the way I planned it was going to go today. But this says it perfectly. The past, the hurts, the regrets are finished. The guilt, the condemnation, the shame are finished. This is a new year. Let things that have held you back go. Allow yourself to step into new levels of victory, into new levels of favor. If you struggle with this particular subject, this is the day for you to be paying attention. The past, the hurts, the regrets, they're finished. If there has ever been a time in your life when someone made you feel bad about your body, or maybe did something to you that made you ashamed of your body and what it can do and all the magic that it can create, let it go. I know it's hard. I have done it. Okay? I have been there. I have been there. And I've found a way to heal that part of my life so that I can enjoy the life that I'm living now. And I think I just really started enjoying it yesterday. I mean, fully, just letting everything go, deciding that, you know what, I don't want to think about what holds me back anymore. I don't want to think about what I think other people might think about me. I think a lot of times too, you know, some people are afraid to get into relationships because they feel like they're not going to be good enough for somebody in that capacity. I have had that feeling. I have always worried that, oh my God, what happens if I get into a relationship and I'm just not good enough? Don't think that way, okay? Think positively. You know, stand up stand at the top of the mountain and just shout, you know what? This is me. I enjoy myself. I enjoy myself. Okay, this is what I gotta stop doing. I've gotta stop going into the giggle fits. But this is exactly what it's saying. The past, the hurts, the regrets, they're finished. Find a way to bring yourself back. Someone's laughing. I don't know, probably baby sibling or Deborah, but still, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. She said, good for you. And you guys, it hasn't been an easy journey. It hasn't been an easy road. Okay. This is not a subject that was ever easy for me to talk about. And I think the reason I giggle now is because I miss that part of my life where you talk about these things and you giggle about it. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I was talking to somebody the other day. I don't want to say who, okay, but it was one of my nearest and dearest pals. And I asked her, I said, you know, why are the two organs on your body that are supposed to be the most erogenous and pleasurable zones look so weird? You know, why does a penis and a vagina look so weird? I know. Didn't see that coming either, did you? But that's the point. You know? We all get weird about stuff. But it's because we stigmatize it. You know? Oh, thank you, Deborah. But we do. We stigmatize it, and we put so many stipulations on how we're allowed to feel, how we're supposed to feel, because we're made to feel these things when we're younger. If you've suffered a trauma, it can be hard because your body does things at an age that it's not meant to do things. And, you know, it can be terrifying. It can be confusing when you grow up, which it was for me. It was very confusing. But I had to figure it out on my own. And by figuring it out, you know, there's growth. And I may giggle through this whole through this whole perspective, because we are talking. I mean, we've literally had 5 cards and we've narrowed it down to just one, the sex card. Okay, it's very colorful. Notice how it's colorful, and notice how it's black, because that's supposed to be sexy. But you know, but you got to add some levity, right? You got to add some levity, because it is a tough subject for a lot of people, and it is something that is hard for people to laughter is good for the soul. It is hard for people to kind of overcome that stigma in their mind, or that shame. So the guilt, the condemnation, the shame, they are finished. The guilt, the condemnation, the shame, they're finished. Let it go. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay? No matter what has stigmatized sex for you, you did nothing wrong. All right? And if it's scary and it's painful and you're nervous, don't be. Okay? If you are with the right partner, just, you know, I don't know, this might be a little controversial because I'm not really sure what to do in this situation, but just let them know you're nervous. Just you know, don't sit there and say, well, I'm not sure I'm going to be good enough for you. No, don't say that. Just say, I'm a little nervous. You know, maybe it's been a while, or maybe you're new to it, or, you know, whatever it is, communication and honesty can really go a long way. And if they are someone special and they are someone important to you, if you're important to each other, they're going to be patient with you. You know, because you don't know, they might feel the same way. They might feel nervous about, you know, this whole thing. I mean, 2 people are going into this, okay? 2 people are going into this, and you both might be nervous. So just, for lack of a better term, feel your way through it. I mean, not, well, I guess literally, but also just emotionally, feel your way through it, okay? So again, next line, this is a new year. We're at the beginning of the year, okay? Try to see yourself through in, you know, in a good way. Try to start building up your confidence, building up your body love. All right? Don't body shame yourself anymore. Learn to have body positivity. Don't worry about your size, okay? Whether you're thick or thin, don't worry about it. Okay? Because when you show love for yourself, and I don't mean narcissistic love, I mean when you show a very warm, gentle, compassionate self-love for yourself, that shines through, and that shines out, and it's going to shine and hit other people. And that doesn't mean that everybody's going to be lining up at your door, okay? That is not what we're going for here. What we're going for is you learning to love this body that you're in. You know, this is your vessel, this is your temple. And there are a lot of people who feel ashamed across the board for a myriad of things. But just learn to love yourself. I mean, when it all comes down to it at the very end, learn to love yourself. Allow yourself to be open enough to know that you deserve good experiences, amazing experiences. You know? So, let things that have held you back go. I just covered that. Let it go. Let go of the shame, the guilt, the condemnation. Let it go. Okay? Untrain your brain from remembering all the bad stuff that you were taught about intimacy and sex and all that stuff, and retrain your brain to, you know, feel positive in your body and feel capable of, you know, doing and being whoever you want to be, because it's a lot more than just that. All right? So, allow yourself to step into new levels of victory and into new levels of favor. I think that really kind of speaks for itself. Okay, I really do. I think that really, really kind of speaks for itself. I'm going to pull some mindful messages cards, just 1 or 2, because we're getting on there in time. But, you know, I if this made anybody uncomfortable, I do truly apologize. But, you know, when I first pulled that card, I wouldn't have imagined that we would end up in this conversation that we're ending up in now. But I've also learned a lot about it in just these few minutes talking. And I really think it's important. I think it's important for people to not stigmatize themselves, you know, to love their bodies enough. There are people out there who, you know, pose nude for artists, right? Or for sculptors. Well, for artists, I guess they're all artists. Or who do, like exhibitions you know, like public, like you know, if you go to a museum, you're going to see naked bodies, and somebody had to pose for those. Okay? So somewhere along the way to shame ourselves, and we've got to stop that. We've got to stop that. We have got to appreciate these bodies. I mean, I'm not telling you to go run around outside naked. Okay? I mean, it's your choice. You're probably going to get in trouble because there are laws. But I think when we look in the mirror, don't, you know, yourself. Love and appreciate the person that you see. When you're in the shower, love and appreciate the person that, you know, you're cleansing, that you're washing off. You know, during acts of intimacy, whether it's, you know, with someone or alone. Don't stigmatize yourself. Don't be ashamed. Okay, this is a very good and open conversation. It's a very adult conversation because there's an inner child in me that is just laughing and giggling her head off inside. Because it's not because I think it's funny. Because it's when I get nervous or uncomfortable, I giggle. Okay, I mean, you know, I giggle anyways, but also it's hard to tell what mood I'm in, I guess, because I giggle over everything. But when I do get nervous or uncomfortable or sincerely out of my comfort zone, I giggle. But I have learned a lot in this because I do stigmatize myself, I do shame myself, and I do all the things that I tell everybody not to do. And I think this card was really kind of driving that point home to not do that anymore. So, and I don't want to. I want to love the body that that gets me through this life. So, coming my way. I didn't make this shit up. Coming my way. Unique opportunities aligned with my desires present themselves to me. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Unique opportunities aligned with my desires present themselves to me. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. Again, like I said, don't stigmatize yourself. Be open to opportunities that are coming your way. But seriously, yeah, I mean, okay, I love this. See, now I know that I feel so validated right now in this conversation. Self-appreciation. I am enough. Self-appreciation. I am enough. I know it's backwards, but still, I'm showing it to you anyways. I will find a moment throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself. Find a comfortable space and bring a pen and paper. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. You can bring anything to this shindig. That's right. Yeah. So, but write yourself a letter of appreciation. You know, thank your body. If you struggle with body positivity or body shaming or, you know, that kind of affect your sex life, maybe it's time to write yourself an appreciation note. Thank you for getting me through all this. Thank you for getting me through life. Thank you for, you know, seeing me to the other side of all these things. I know it's not always easy for people to talk about these subjects. And I know that for some people, it's hard to overcome trauma. But like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. And I say that because there were times when I literally felt like I couldn't go on anymore. But when those moments happened, I had people that picked me up, stood me back up. They didn't move me. They just helped me back up onto my feet. And they sat there with me until I was ready to move forward again. You know, I think because I was trying so hard to get through so much so fast that I didn't take time to really process what it was that I was going through, that I needed to heal. So take that time for yourself, you know. I know there's a person out there. I can feel it in my soul that there's a person out here that is going to need to see this message. And whoever you are, I see you, I understand you, I know where you've been. And it's okay. It will be okay. And when you're able to kind of love yourself and get out of your own way and let go of the things that held you back, you're going to find yourself moving forward in such a rapid pace towards the beautiful things you deserve. Sometimes the one thing that holds us back in life is small things like this that might keep us from something beautiful that's meant to be in our life, because we are afraid of one thing, and sometimes that fear is so great in its own power, then it can literally halt your life. It can literally stop the flow of things to you. So let go of the fear, let go of the doubts, let go of the shame, the guilt, the condemnation, let go of the past, the hurts, and the regrets. You can't do anything about those anymore. Okay, the past, it's in your past. Leave it there. The hurts, they're in your past too. You can grow from those. The regrets, can you change it? No. So again, leave it behind you. And don't guilt yourself over it. Don't condemn yourself for it. And don't shame yourself over it. If you have healed, or you're on the path of healing, you're on the right path. So even if it hurts, let it happen. Because you're going to have to feel it to heal it. And you're going to have to go through it to grow through it. Okay? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank you, Marie and Deborah, for your comments. And older sibling in that one comment. If you want to know what older sibling said, you're going to have to read it in the comments on Facebook Live. But anyways, it's really actually not that bad, but it was funny. However, there's a story behind it. So anyway, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I think this was a really good Self-Care Wednesday. I did not lie to you yesterday when I said I'm going to try to come up with something good. I did not come up with it. The powers that be threw it into our path. And I think it ended up being actually a very good and validating talk. So take care of yourselves, okay? Do what you need to do to heal and to get better. And I will see everybody back here tomorrow for Things to Think on Thursday, 8:30 a.m. I can't talk now. 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Facebook Live. It is public. Anybody can watch, or you can watch the replay later on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelley Marie Lucas. And I also post it to Twitter. So if you're a Twitter follower of mine, it's there. Okay. So again, I hope everybody has a great, great day. Thank you so much for hanging in there and for watching. Thank you for the group participation today, ladies. And I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.